Pull up a chair and get comfortable. It's time to talk about your federal benefits. Federal Employee Benefit Coordinators presents the FEBC Podcast with Elizabeth Inman and Brian Fentress.
Hi, I'm Elizabeth Inman at Federal Employee Benefit Coordinators. I help federal and postal employees improve their retirement outcomes, and I help them do it stress-free, worry-free. Retirement should be the best time of our life. It should be the time when all of our dreams are coming true. One of my favorite folks, Tony Robbins, says that if your goal doesn't scare you, you should have a new goal. That's just another way of saying dream bigger. Dream bigger. We should have big dreams when we're thinking about retiring. We've worked our whole life working up to this point. Why would we just settle? Why would retirement not be the best time in our life? So that's why I've devoted a whole podcast series to how to become a TSP millionaire. We've devoted a lot of resources. We've got resources directly from the Thrift Savings Plan. This is about fund information, all the different funds inside of the TSP. We've written a book, the TSP Millionaire, that's available on our website. Our first 3 podcasts that we've already covered the changes to the new TSP. That's what I call it now, the new TSP. If you've missed any of those, the links are down below. Go back and listen to the first 3 podcasts. Today, we're going to talk about the 6 keys to understand the new TSP mutual fund. This also is an ebook that's available right on our website, www.febcnow.com. Inside today's podcast, I'm going to talk about one of the resource guides that's available on our podcast, on our website, that I haven't talked about very often, and that's the Risk Guard, the TSP Risk Guard resource. That is a technical paper that's available on our website. We've got several technical papers that's available for you to read that will help educate you on topics that's very relevant to your retirement from the federal government. Education is power, and we want to empower you to put together the best strategic federal retirement plan that's available to you today. Don't retire on a whim. Don't retire just because you've checked off your 30 years. Let's put together a powerful plan that's going to put you in a position to enjoy your dreams in retirement. Let's get started. I want to talk about these 6 keys to understanding the new TSP mutual funds, because this is all about how to become a TSP millionaire. Now, I understand, at the end of 2021, there was over 100,000 TSP millionaires. But there's millions of federal and postal employees, and yet only 100,000 TSP millionaires. Unfortunately, 2022 wasn't the TSP millionaires' friends, and the last time I checked, that number had dropped back to only about 65,000 TSP millionaires. Now that's going to change over the next couple of years, and we're going to see those numbers zoom. And if I have anything to do with it, we're really going to see those numbers zoom, because I want to plant the seed in more and more and more federal and postal employees' minds that you just might be the next TSP millionaire. And if you are not in a position, let's say it's later in your career, you don't have enough in your account, and you realize it's not likely to be you that will fall into that TSP millionaire category. What I want to do for you is I want to instill the hope that you can greatly improve your position of retirement utilizing valuable information such as the TSP mutual fund window, such as the information given in our TSP Millionaire book that will just improve your position. I mean, really, stop and think about it. What would your retirement look like today if you just improve your TSP account by 50%? What would it look like for you? Oh, okay. Let's be even a little more realistic. You walk out the door a free person, you're retired with 20% more in your TSP account than you have today. Wouldn't that feel good? Well, when's the last time you stopped to think about that being a possibility? Myself, I don't mind telling you, I didn't think that way while I was employed. I waited until I was retired to start thinking about my retirement savings growing that way. Don't be that way. Dream big with me. Dream big with me. Let's get started and let's talk about the 6 keys to understanding the new TSP mutual fund window. First of all, this is the biggest revolutionary change made to the TSP since its inception. Since the late 1980s, the biggest change ever. Yes, they started off with the core funds, they added to the core funds, they added the L funds, and then they expanded those L funds. None of those changes was as dramatic and drastic as adding these TSP mutual fund windows. And you know what? It's been almost a year since these changes have taken place, and I'm very disappointed in the number of people that's participating in those. But I know the reason why. It's a lack of education. People just aren't understanding the value of the mutual fund window. And there's another reason too. It happened to fall during a period of time when the volatility in the market has been, okay. So let's talk about the 6 keys, because that's not always going to be the case. That there is going to come a point in time when you're going to be extremely glad you're participating in the new TSP mutual fund window. So with that, I want to talk about that just real quick. This new edition, the TSP mutual fund window, added the ability for you to invest in up to 5,000 new TSP mutual funds. Now, a TSP mutual fund window is a type of self-directed mutual fund brokerage account that gives you, the TSP investor, the opportunity to buy shares of a mutual fund. We've never had that before. It's brand spanking new within the past year. It's limited. You are limited to 25% of your mutual fund account. You have to have a minimum of $40,000 in your account, and you have to start with at least $10,000 to participate in the mutual fund window. Now, there's a $95 annual maintenance fee, and you have a $55 annual fee. So I'm just going to address the elephant that's in the room with these fees right up front. Going to talk about them right up front because that's what everybody talks about. Yes, there's a $28.75 transaction fee, and yes, here's the big part of the elephant. You ready for this? There's additional mutual fund management fees that they call the expense ratio. We're going to talk about that more in depth here in just a few minutes. And if you really want to understand what those are, get the free ebook that's online, www.febcnow.com. Go to the resource tab and get the ebook. Download it. It's free. No strings attached. Free ebook available to you. So with that, let's talk about key number 1. You have more investment choices. Now, inside of this key, you're going to talk about things like style boxes. They get real technical with the lingo with style boxes. I'm not going to go there today on the podcast. This podcast is designed to let you understand that there's an ebook that gets very in-depth about the 6 keys to understanding the new TSP mutual fund window. There's technical definitions inside of this ebook that you're going to want to know, because education is power. Most of the time we won't participate in anything we don't understand. This ebook is intended to educate you so you understand the mutual fund window and how it works. Key number 2 is net returns outweigh the costs. I addressed it right up front. The costs are $55 annual fee, a $95 maintenance fee, a $28.75 transaction fee, and then those mysterious expense ratio fees. Well, those expense ratio fees are actually published on the website of every mutual fund. Every mutual fund is required to post their expense ratio fees on their website. So if you're thinking about investing in a mutual fund, go to their website and you'll know what the expense ratio fees are. It's just that there's almost 5,000 of them. There's no way that we can talk about each individual expense ratio when there's almost 5,000 of them. But what I can do is give you the information that if you're thinking about a particular mutual fund, you can go and find out what those exact fees are. So don't focus on the investment costs. What I want you to focus on is net return. Net return is what your focus should be. Because would you spend $5 to make 20? I mean, that's the question. Would you spend $5 to make 20? But when all we focus on is I'm spending $5, you'll never spend the $5 to make 20. The question is, will you spend $5 to make 20? Focus on net return, not on the costs. Net returns outweigh costs. Key number 3, transfer the max to the windows. Now, the TSP Millionaire book, also free on our website, www.febcnow.com, will actually give you the guide to how much to contribute to the TSP mutual fund window. You'll have great information in here and how to transfer the maximum amount to the window to accomplish the goals that you have for your unique individual situation. Not what Joe Henry's going to do, not what Sally Joe's going to do, but your situation that fits your needs. And it needs to be based on your age, your salary, your retirement age when you want to retire, and it's going to give you some examples that you can look at. For instance, you may be earlier in your career with a long time to work before you retire, or you may be later in your career with not much time till you retire. The answers are very, very different for those two scenarios. That's why you cannot go off your neighbor's advice. You've got to have a unique plan for your unique situation. Key number 4, more flexibility to trade than what you're used to. More flexibility. The TSP has been very, very restrictive on how often we can do interfund transfers. The mutual fund window does not have those restrictions. So once again, understanding what those are and what those requirements are, what those restrictions are, and where there are not restrictions can be found in the 6 keys to understanding the new TSP mutual fund window. The free ebook that's on our website, www.febcnow.com. You go to the resource tab. That's where you find this book on our website. Key number 5 is added offense for calm markets and added defense for volatile markets. So, in the last 12 months, have you been playing defense or have you been playing offense? The million-dollar question with the markets the way they've been lately. Added offense for calm markets, added defense for volatile markets. That is one of the benefits of having a mutual fund window. You're not stuck in the G fund. You don't have to be stuck in the L fund. You have added offense during the calm markets and you've got added defense for volatility that's going on. That is powerful. And then on our website, I mentioned that we've got a technical paper called the TSP Risk Guard Overview. That is a powerful, powerful technical paper that will tell you about our proprietary TSP Risk Guard process, where you do not have to move your TSP to have professional help with your TSP. It's priceless. It is very, very powerful for you to have that professional help if you want it, And if you don't want it, we've got all the resources for you to manage your TSP so that perhaps you might be the next TSP millionaire. Key number 6 is use a financial advisor for your TSP to manage your TSP right where it's at, inside your TSP. You can find this information more at www.febcnow.com. thrift.com. I love doing these podcasts with you. I love sitting down with a good old cup of coffee, talking about the issues that affect you. I love planting the seed that you can improve your situation for retirement. There's not much you can do except work longer to get your pension to increase. There's not much you can do except work longer to get the second income stream of Social Security to increase. There's a whole lot you can do for that third income stream, your TSP income, to increase utilizing the tools and the techniques that we talk about on our website and talk about in our one-on-one consultations. It's free. Just pick up the phone and give us a call. We'd be happy to do a consult. When you log into www.febcnow.com, the very first button you see is Let's Chat. Let's have a discussion. So give us a call today. We're happy to sit down and talk to you one-on-one.